Time to pull up a chair, put away that phone, and talk some Thursday night football. I am your host, JJ Wenner, and this is the Rider Dynasty Podcast. With me are my co-hosts, Jameson Hutchison and Joseph Harlow. All right, Riders, lock in. We are previewing the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. Tonight, we dive into the matchup, lines, player props, and more. Let's ride.
Before we dive into this amazing Thursday night game preview, don't forget to listen to all of our podcasts and watch all of the shows here at Fantasy and Frames. Head over to fantasyandframes.com for all the latest articles and rankings covering a wide range of topics in the worlds of fantasy football and some hockey now.
Gotta love the hockey talk. All right, gentlemen, let's kick off by talking about our likes and dislikes from last week. What is one thing that made you happy and one thing that made you want to lock it away in a dungeon? Joe?
For both of mine, I'm going to tackle a sophomore wide receiver. First, Rome Odunze has established himself as the wide receiver one in Chicago. Sorry if you can hear my baby talking. He's learned to stand and now is screaming it from the rooftops. So, yeah, this year so far, granted, it's a 2-week sample size. It's not huge, but he has a 27.9% target share, 11th in the league, tied with a guy named CeeDee Lamb, who is pretty good. So being in the same company there, top 12 target share earner, pretty good. Caleb Williams has been solid. I know the Bears got just absolutely annihilated last week, but the offense did look pretty okay, aside from DeAndre Swift doing those things. But Caleb Williams he's getting there slowly but surely, and Odunze has been his comfort zone. He's been top 12 wide receiver for fantasy so far. His average depth of targets, yards per route run, contested catch rates are really good, high level numbers. I think they're all top 25 in the league amongst receivers, if not a little higher. Yards after catch is solid as well. So it's not elite, but for a bigger X receiver, has enough where he's making some plays after he gets the ball. On top of that, he's also being used out of the slot 36% of the time. So getting some of those easier manufactured touches, just a little less press work on him, kind of keeping him a little more fresh and getting him some easier touches. I'm really liking where it's going with him. I think he is having that breakout season and is getting back to top 12 dynasty level receiver.
All right, JMO, what is your like?
My like is just the Dallas Cowboys offense. It looks very fantasy friendly. That's been the big hit this offseason that I thought. Dak Prescott last week against Giants, 361 yards and 2 touchdowns. Probably left a little beat on the bone with some penalties and stuff, but I mean, and it's very condensed as well. It's CeeDee Lamb, it's George Pickens, it's Jake Ferguson, a little Kevontae Turpin, and that's really about it. So, and even Javonte Williams looks good. That's a guy this offseason that a lot of people were worried about. Not looking really that good, but I mean, it's a couple years from injury. I'm not saying he's spry, but I mean, as far as a running back that you got late, I mean, he's really doing well so far. So makes it even better that the defense has looked absolutely terrible. Deron Bland has been injured. The entire secondary just kind of stinks. So it's almost like the Bengals of the NFC, where the offense is good and elite, and then defense sucks so bad that, I mean, they gave 450 yards to Russell Wilson. When is the last time Russell Wilson has ever thrown for 450 yards in his entire life? I mean,
The Clinton administration?
I don't think he ever did, actually.
Probably the Reagan, which was non-existent. So, I mean, it's just absolutely terrible. So I think that even makes it better for this Cowboys offense. So I'm really looking forward to it. Talked about it all offseason. This is the one I was really excited about, and so far it looks really good. And the more shootouts for Dallas, the better, and it's lining up that way.
All right, for me, hey, Jamie, I don't know if I'm crushing all my leagues, but some of them I'm doing very well in. 2 of my favorite late round running backs, Jaylen Warren and Ramondre Stevenson, both posting RB1 weeks. Rookies have been a little bit disappointing so far, but the old dogs are still getting their reps. I don't know how long this is going to last, mean, Caleb Johnson isn't really sniffing the field. I'm shocked, but I'm glad because I have a lot of Jalen Warren. And I was really high on Trevion Henderson, and I never was able to get him because he kept going before me. So I'm kind of glad I got Ramondre late, and I'm going to ride those two until the wheels fall off. Now, for me, my dislike from last week, as I'm sure you all know, is the wheels falling off the Jets. Dear Lord, how do you go from being so exciting in week 1 to looking like utter dog poop in week 2? It looked like the entire team gave up, kept shooting themselves in the foot over and over. Fields, I don't even know what that was. So I'm hoping that they're going to turn over a new leaf. Tyrod's going to be in there for a week while his head clears, Fields' head's clear. But I'm really interested to see if they can get back on track. JMO, what is your dislike?
The Carolina Panthers are on pace to be the worst team in the league again by a very large margin. Bryce Young looks like the terrible Bryce Young before he had his little glow up the second half of last year. They've lost 2 offensive linemen, including Rob Hunt, who is their best offensive lineman that they just paid. Looks like they're totally unprepared. Offense, I mean, he threw it like 59 times. Xavier Leggett, just trending towards a first-round bust. I mean, he legitimately looks like a horse out there, and that's, as far as wide receivers go, that is not a compliment whatsoever. Can't get his feet in bounds, doesn't know how to catch a football. Just a total abomination. And Tetero McMillan is the only bright spot on this offense, but it just seems like they're leaning towards a 2026 first-round quarterback selection at this rate. So Carolina, I was really excited about them. I thought the second half for Bryce Young was really trending and can lead into this year, and has just gone back to when is Andy Dalton going to come in? So that's kind of what I'm preparing for. And it is week 3. I can't believe we have to do this already, but here we are.
Dear Lord, Jamie, listen, if the red rifle comes in, I'd rather have any of the 12 Browns QBs who they have on their roster. What are they carrying now? I don't even know. Man.
Yeah. Browns are so much better than Carolina. At least
that defense is incredible still. I know gave up a lot of points last week, but
I love Garrett.
The first 3 quarters.
Myles Garrett is good. I mean, you could put together the entire Carolina team, and I don't think it's as good as Myles Garrett. Tetero McMillan might give him like a little bit of a benchmark, but the rest of it is an abomination, and that is me being very PG tonight. I'm behaving. I don't want to say anything goofy, but Carolina, I was really excited about them, and they just pissed me off, and I'm retiring. We will move on, but it's whatever. Right. It's whatever. Terrible.
Mr. Harlow, what is your dislike?
I just want to do a wellness check on Brian Thomas Jr. You okay?
No.
He's fine.
For PFF, he's been a bottom 5 wide receiver this year. His overall offensive grade, his receiving grade, his drops. He's sitting there right next to Xavier Leggett and Noah Brown.
He's not fine. Never mind. He's not fine.
Yeah, I'm not super worried long term, but last week was weird. He very much looked like he had the yips. Like he only was credited with 2 targets, but there were multiple. I think 2 or 3 others at least that he short armed because there was a corner near him. The one on the 4th, I think it was a 4th down on the goal line that he was open enough and just short armed it, missed it, and that was a turning point in the game. Someone like him, I don't know why he's so scared of contact right now. So still has a great target share, 25+%, but I don't know.
I know, but, because T-Law sucks.
Hell yeah, he does.
Trevor Lawrence is terrible.
I disagree.
Terrible. He's not terrible. Yeah. I'm being hyperbolic. He is so mid, as the kids would say. He's a mid QB.
I don't know. I think Thomas is more the problem than Lawrence is right now. I mean, Lawrence has been hitting De'Ami Brown and making him look great. Travis Hunter's been looking bad. So
McCorkle came in last year and made Brian Thomas Jr. look like Randy Moss and Jerry Rice combined at the end of the year. And then
You
Trevor
see
Lawrence
that
comes
from
in.
backup quarterbacks a lot, though, that all they
I
do is throw
know.
it to the big athletic guy, and they look good.
Well,
Trevor
maybe
Lawrence.
T-Law should try that.
Trevor Lawrence is in this problem with all these new quarterbacks where they have a lot of fun tools, and there's just like something missing. Like Caleb Williams, he's got all the tools. His accuracy is very up and down. It's not that the accuracy is bad. It just they can make the most amazing throw, and then 2 seconds later, it is just scratching your head. What the hell just happened? That's what Trevor Lawrence does. He overthrows, he underthrows. It's a lot of that stuff. He does a little bit of the hospital ball too, which talking about the yips for Brian Thomas Jr. That's going to be a part of it, but I think, I mean, just to kind of piggyback, I think Brian Thomas Jr. will be fine. The targets are there at least, but it's been really frustrating because it seems like the Jaguars' offense is on the cusp of being really good. They've got a lot of good pieces. Travis Hunter, Bashal Tutin is on the way. If you haven't seen some of his stuff, he's looked electric so far. But Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he doesn't suck, but he kind of sucks. I'll leave it at that.
For a first overall pick, he definitely hasn't lived up to it, but I think he's getting far too much hate. I'd definitely say Thomas is a way bigger problem right now. 5 of 18, and most of the 18 have been pretty catchable. At the end of the day, if you're a number one receiver, you have to make those catches. You can't for what it. Like it very much felt like that last week. That I would say Thomas was the main reason they lost the game last week. Lawrence threw 3 picks, but that point, if your guys aren't making plays for you, you have to force the issue a little more.
I still think Brian Thomas is a very good second receiver.
Dynasty wise, I'm just worried for a little bit this year, or at least the next couple of weeks. More, you okay? What's going on here, buddy?
All right. Well, let's get into tonight's game. It's the Miami Dolphins at Buffalo Bills. Miami is 0-2 after losing a close one to the New England Patriots. Buffalo, JMO, is 2-0 after destroying, molly-walloping my dear beloved Jets. Weather tonight in Buffalo is perfect, mid-60s, no rain. But before we get into the lines and the props, last week we did a much better job. Well, some of us did. I had 4 wins. Joe had 2. JMO had 1. He broke the shutout. That brings our overall record to 6 wins for me, 4 for Joe, and 1 for JMO. JMO, do you want to respond to those startling statistics?
My process was there. Matthew Golden, I think it was like over 35 yards. I mean, his air yards are 4 million. So the process was there. The dedication to actually hitting that did not hit. So obviously, but sometimes you got to go through hell to get to heaven. I'm obviously in hell right now. I'm on fire, and not in the good way. I wish I was in the fire in the betting way, but we'll get there. It's early. It's week 2. Be all right.
I love you. You would have made a great preacher. Gentlemen, the Bills are giving 10.5 points with an over-under of 48.5. JMO, where are you going?
I'm going to lean Buffalo, 10.5. I know I looked earlier. It would end up getting up to 12. So that's what I saw earlier. It was at 12.5 on DraftKings. But if it's 10.5, I will lean Buffalo, being the heavy favorites there. And the over-under of 48.5. I think I'm going to lean over because I think that Buffalo is going to rout them. They've done this 2 times last year. Tua has not been good. I know that the offense looked a little better than it did in week 1 against the Indianapolis Colts, the greatest defense of all time. Whatever the hell happened to them. But I'm going to lean Buffalo to cover, and then that's the way I just think it's going to be a rout tonight.
Joe?
Bills by $1 billion. This is going to be an ugly game, I think. Last time they played on Thursday night early in the season, I think Buffalo was up like 31-7 before Tua got hurt. Then Tua got hurt. A couple of years ago, 2023, their first matchup in early October, late September, whenever it was, Buffalo won by, I think, 30. Miami's a dumpster fire. They made the Patriots look like the Bills, and the Patriots, for as much improvement as they've had, they're still a year, 2 years away from being an elite level offense. And I think this is going to be an absolute bloodbath. Maybe the score seems about right. Maybe I would say it's probably like 35-10 touchdown late. I don't think this is going to be close.
So are you going with the over 48.5?
I'm going to go with the over, yeah.
All right. I too went with the Bills. After seeing what they did last week to the Jets, I can't say no to a 10.5 point spread. Over under, I think the Dolphins will score more. I think they might be able to exploit what the Jets could not. But still, Buffalo's gonna win going away. Now, JMO, do you have some prop bets for us tonight?
I do. I do have a question before we get into them. I'm going to ask this question with all due respect. Has every time we've seen Tua die on the field, has it been on Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, I think two of them for sure have been. The Bengals one was on Thursday night
And then he had another concussion
against the Bills last
afterwards.
year.
It doesn't matter, but I just feel like this is an obviously cursed evening for Miami Dolphins. So I hope third time is not a
minus that
charm.
one magical night against the Ravens, like
Right.
4 or 5 years
So-
ago.
But I do got some props. These are all on DraftKings, of course. But for the Buffalo side, starting off, James Cook over under 72.5 rushing yards. James Cook, I believe, top 3 running back in fantasy football right now. Looks to be pretty good, but it seems like he has been not necessarily a full-time player, and Josh Allen has also had a lot of rushing too. So, Joe, we'll start with you. Over 72.5 yards for James Cook.
I'll take the slight over there. I think if they're going to blow him out like I'm expecting, that Cook will have some runs. He needs one big play. Cook's one of those guys, I think, like we talked about with Aaron Jones, where he's better if he's in a timeshare, if he is a 60% snap guy. Yeah, we'll take the over.
JJ?
I think that we've seen James Cook go over against the Jets. We saw him go under that against the Ravens. The Dolphins are much closer to the Jets than they are the Ravens, so I am going over 72.5.
Yep, I will as well. He hit that 7 times last year. And this Dolphins defense, or lack thereof, they lost their star Storm Duck in the secondary. And I mean, it is just
Jesus.
the defensive line that was supposed to be a strength for Miami has not been so far. They've been kind of abomination. But another rushing stat for the Bills here, Josh Allen, 23.5 rushing yards over or under here. JJ, we'll kick it off with you.
Again, I'm going back to what I said about the Bills playing the Jets. All it takes is one run for him to get over 23.5. He loves to truck people and then cry when somebody touches him near his helmet. But, listen, whatever. You know how I feel about Josh Allen. But dude can run the ball, and he's a big, big boy. So I'm going over 23.5.
Joe, how are you feeling about this one?
I don't really know here. This is a tough one. I'll go under just for the sake of being contrarian, but yeah, I don't know if they'll need him to run really.
I'm going to go under, and that's why. I just don't think that Miami will end up getting pressure on Josh Allen to where he doesn't have to run wild like he did in Baltimore. And then, so Jamie is betting Josh Allen 40+ rushing yards.
I feel like
you're
this
a wise
is
man, Jamie.
I feel like this is 8 rushing yards or 50 rushing yards for Allen. I feel like the middle ground isn't really there.
All it takes
There's
is
going to
one.
be 32 rushing yards.
I think this is
32.
I think
Okay.
it's a great day for Josh Allen's arm instead of his legs. Give his legs a break, work the arm workout a little bit. So we'll go to the unfortunate side. Got 2 prop bets here for Miami. Starting off with Tua, over 243.5 passing yards. So he looked a little better last week against the Patriots compared to when he did against the Colts. But Joe, first off, does Tua non stay alive for 4 quarters? And if he does he hit 243.5 passing yards?
I'm gonna say yes. Garbage time.
JJ, are you in agreement there?
I am. I think he's going to have like 42, 43 pass attempts.
Okay. I'm going to go the under here. I think I was very worried about the Bills' defense after week 1. I hate to bring up the Jets last week. I don't know if
that was not just to let you know, that was not the Bills' defense.
Okay.
That was the Jets not being able to do diddly squat.
I was really excited for Breece Hall last week. I know it's a different conversation. I thought Ed Oliver being out, Sean McDermott still kind of sucks, and I don't know what happened. But little goofy there. And then like I said, I'm gonna go under for Tua. He's been really hard to get there unless it's garbage time. And 2 games last year, he did not get there against Buffalo. So, and then the last one here, Devon Achane, over under 43.5 receiving yards, not rushing yards. He's this running back who's been getting it done through the air. So, JJ, over 43.5 receiving yards for Achane tonight.
Yeah, I think he's going to get like 8 or 9 targets. I think he beats that pretty easily. It's the only weapon that is reliable on that team.
Yep. Joe?
Yeah, I think I agree there.
So he hit that 7 times last year, and I'm going to think that he hits that again. So I'm going to hit that as well for over 43.5 receiving yards for Achane. I hope it's a good game. At this point in life, that's all we can go for. So
why are the Thursday night games always so bad?
Because they don't have any time to practice. They come from one car wreck and enter another one.
Yeah, I feel like they should have a bye week before Thursday games.
So
I agree.
It'd be nice.
Jamie asks a good question. Do we think Achane will go over 100 total yards?
If he did, it would have to be through the air, being the majority of it. So I'm going to lean no.
Same.
I mean, his rushing work behind this offensive line has not been good. So a lot of it, he's going to have to break a long one here to get there. I prefer him to score a touchdown compared to him hitting 100 total yards, but that's just my analysis. And if you heard earlier from the record, that analysis has been subpar. I'm not going to say it's bad, just been subpar. It's early, but
process good.
Dolphins by 20. Dolphins by 20 tonight.
There you go. Before we get to
I don't know. Sorry, last thing's like the Ravens ran all over the Bills. The Bills are a small defense, small and fast. They're not going to have that issue that they had with the Ravens. This Miami team is also small and fast.
I agree. So before we get to Dynasty Perspective portion of the program, for anybody out there planning on winning your fantasy football league this year, if you're wanting to become the king or queen of your league, it's hard to show that you're the champ without a specialty ring or trophy or championship belt from Trophy Smack. So use Fantasy and Frames 10, gets you 10% off anything they have in stock. So if you want the title belt, you want the ring to show off, look like Tom Brady, you can go get a couple of those for your knuckles. Or, if you want a trophy to go put on the shelf, I wish I had some behind me, but unfortunately, I'd love to use Fantasy and Frames 10, but unfortunately, I don't have anything to win by. So head over to TrophySmack.com and use Fantasy and Frames 10 and get yourself something you deserve, being the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. I need more trophies behind me. I think this year is going to be the year.
I have a couple over here.
Can you lend me one?
Those 2 bears are trophies for NCAA tournaments.
Can you lend me one so I look like I'm a winner?
Absolutely. I'll send one in the mail.
I have a Lego cat and Star Wars and Chopper from Star Wars.
Yeah. All right.
I'll take what I can get. I'll take what I can get.
All right. I'll send you some of the creepy paintings I have behind me. Since this, hey, Jorge, is a dynasty show, we're going to pick either a player or a position group that we are watching for our dynasty rosters. We call this the Dynasty Perspective. Let's talk about what happened last week. I wanted to know who would get the targets amongst the Green Bay wide receivers. With Jaden Reed out, Wicks had 6, Dubs had 5. Dubs was the only worthy starter because of his TD. Guess the answer is Kraft. As long as Kraft is healthy, that's the only. Now. Although he said he's okay. It's not serious, was the last thing I saw.
That's nice. It's nice that he thinks so. I don't know.
Joseph.
Hey,
Ezekiel Harlow.
Ezekiel.
I make up middle names when I yell at my students.
That's
anyway,
if
Kraft is healthy, he's the only receiving target who I'm going to reliably start from week to week. It's 2 up in the air for me, and that's what I learned. JMO, what was yours last week?
Mine was Deebo Samuel. Just seeing if his production from week 1 would lead into week 2. really hard to gauge when you're going against the greatest defense of all time in the Green Bay Packers. I mean, I have no idea what happened. I know Micah Parsons is good, but just kind of crazy to see how much it has changed over in Green Bay compared to some of the old defenses the last couple of years that would just bleed out. But Deebo Samuel still had 8 targets. He only had 44 yards, but he did get a touchdown. Terry McLaurin didn't do much either with 48 yards against Green Bay defense. So Austin Eckler getting hurt, I know this sounds kind of goofy, could lead to like 2 or 3 more rush attempts for Deebo Samuel, just running it through that way. And then his role seems sustainable, and that's what I was worried about. I think he's more of a wide receiver 2 in fantasy, but I still think he's got value. I know a lot of people were worried about him getting old. He was slow last year. Apparently, that's what pneumonia does to you. Makes you slow and you can't breathe. But so far for the Commanders, we'll see. But I think Deebo Samuel's role is here to stay. I think it's very valuable, and I think he's someone, especially in Dynasty, if you are trying to win and just kind of need a body. I don't think Deebo Samuel's a wide receiver that people are just trying to hold on for dear life. I think there's somebody they'd be willing to let go, and somebody I think who should be a target right now.
All right, love that. Love that about Deebo. Is Green Bay's defense, Jorge asks, going to help them get to the NFC Championship? Man, if that offense starts clicking even a little bit more, yeah. I mean,
Jordan
Parsons
Love has
isn't
that
even
Matt-
playing a full repertoire of snaps yet.
No, I know Jordan Love has that Matt Stafford or Joe Flacco in him, where if he can get hot for the postseason run, he can be unstoppable for a 4 or 5 game stretch. So, this is an interesting one from Jorge as well. What would you want for Deebo in Dynasty, and what would you be willing to give for him? I'll add in.
I would try to. Oh man,
I would want a second.
I was going to say easily a second. If you wanted to flip one of these like Jalen Warren type of running backs at like smaller tier, and then maybe do like a pick swap with it, I think I would go that route as well. I don't think Deebo Samuel is worth necessarily a first, but I'd be very comfortable depending on kind of the package there. But any of these, like the Jalen Warren, Ramondre Stevenson, that realm of running back, and then have like a pick swap in it, I think that would be enough, because Deebo's an older player, and a lot of these people are trying to burn and turn these rosters. But I think for that, I think I'd be very comfortable giving something like that up for Deebo Samuel right now.
So if you had Deebo, would you take Isaac Tesla in the third?
Probably keep Deebo. I think Deebo. I think Deebo's more valuable.
If I'm not competing, that'd be a tempting offer. Rebuilding team, but I think you could squeeze at least another third out of that, probably 3-4 swap.
Yeah, I was going to say if you do a couple thirds or just like a second, it'd be a little more enticing.
Maybe do the Isaac Tesla trade and give 3 thirds.
There you go. Kind of wild to think about. And my thing with just Tesla is just the competition in front of him. Still Jameson Williams, still Laporta, still Amon-Ra, who went
both
off
RBs.
Yeah.
Nothing's better though when there's still that mystery box and you've only seen upside.
Yep.
True. I have one other question. It's for Tucker Kraft in your leagues right now. Say you have another great tight end, just kind of picked up Kraft as a backup upside shot. Like you have Trey McBride, Tucker Kraft. Would you be willing to start Kraft in your flex spots, assuming he's healthy, of course?
Yes.
With the amount of volume he is getting. Yeah.
I will say this, I'm already doing that this week as I stutter my way through that. I was blessed enough to draft Tucker Kraft and Tyler Warren, and I've been able to use both of them. So
nice.
I think it's very viable, especially if you've got a very thin roster elsewhere, or if you don't want to play the running back game. Like Ramondre Stevenson or Tucker Kraft, I'd rather just honestly start Tucker Kraft, shoot for upside there. Than I know Ramondre had a good week last week, but just is that sustainable? Matchup dependent. I mean, Tucker Kraft right now is the wide receiver 1 for Green Bay. Matthew Golden air yards are there, but as far as, I think he's very viable. I mean, he's easily on his way to top 5 tight end this year.
Yeah. Then we have a special article announcement.
Go on.
Apparently, my start sit for IDP or plays and fades will be debuting at halftime. So, woo.
There you go.
Hopefully it's better than last week, which went very poorly. Process.
Oh man, I was gonna read it because I am struggling. in my
IDP's been hard
IDP
this year.
leagues.
It's been hard.
I'm really confused. I
Same.
was actually going to try to schedule a coaching session with you, Miss. Not
Gotcha.
you, not you, JMO.
Yeah, I'm
Last
the
week
last
was one of those
person.
weeks that felt good about my process, but just didn't end up working out. Week 3.
All
But
right, buddy. What
just
is
keep going.
what was your Dynasty perspective last week? What were you watching?
I was watching to see if Quay Walker, and I think he might be real. 100% of snaps again. Didn't do anything effing stupid like Christian Harris did. So thanks for that one, buddy. But he's the linebacker 2 on the team. He is rocking the green dot though, but I think that'll only be until Cooper. Probably next year Cooper will take that over. But Walker, he's linebacker 17 right now, based off like the Fantasy Pros-ish IDP scoring. 17 tackles in 2 games. If he keeps it up, I think he could very easily get that Patrick Queen sort of contract, 3-year, $50 million, I think it was, probably $60 million with inflation, and be a linebacker 1 on a team for a couple of years. I think he's a linebacker 2 for dynasty teams going forward. But there was a real world he was Devin Whiting this and just not getting anywhere. Granted, I guess White now got a chance to be a starter, but there's a real world where he just fell off the face of the planet, and that's not seeming to happen right now.
All right. Well, keep going, Joe. What is your take for this week?
So I'm going to stick with linebackers. I'm just curious, can Dorian Williams take a hold of that linebacker 2 job? Matt Milano, who damn good ball player, but he's been hurt so much. He's out again. I'm not sure how long they're expecting him to be out, but Dorian Williams gets in there. Not someone I'm really super wanting to start tonight. I know actually Rachel and I talked about this earlier. Just with, I don't think Miami, they're not going to be a big linebacker conducive team this week. But in the first 11 weeks last season, Dorian Williams was the starter, and he was linebacker 19 over that stretch. So linebacker 2, I just want to see, can he repeat that? Can he really take a hold of that linebacker 2 role? And can he maybe just keep Matt Milano out, even if he does get back healthy? That's what I'm looking for. Is there much improvement? He was a raw athletic freak out of Tulane, who I really liked, but can he start putting it together a little more piece by piece? Year 3 is big for linebackers.
All right. And Jamie invited you onto podcast. I want to check on that. JMO, what is your dynasty perspective for this week?
Mine is Jalen Waddle, and see if we can get one more. It seems like he's going to play, but see if we can get one more decent game out of him. He had 68 yards and a touchdown last week, which feels like his best game in forever. The situation in Miami right now is just absolutely terrible. And if you can have any value in Jalen Waddle right now, I think it's a perfect time to sell especially if he capitalized one more game. That's all you ask. It's a new season. People are hyped up. Last year, he only had 5 games over 50 yards. And he had 2 touchdowns on the entire season. So his perception is that he is like this great wide receiver 2 for most leagues, but he ends up being a roster clogger who really kind of zaps the upside in your. But you can't sit him. You can barely start him. You just don't want to mess with that. So if he can have just one more good game tonight, if they're playing from behind, you can get some yards out of him. I think it's a perfect time to try to flip Jalen Waddle. I think he's wide receiver 24 right now on Fantasy Pros Dynasty rankings. That's just way too high. I mean, for a guy who has not produced in well over a year, I mean, even if Tyreek leaves, like I don't see it with Miami. They talk about the coach leaving. They're having the player-only meetings. The ship is about to sink, and I'm just trying to jump off the boat before I get stuck on there and go with it. So, like I said, Jalen Waddle, just want one more game.
So who would you start, him or DJ Moore tonight?
I would start DJ Moore. The Chicago Bears this week are on the highest pace of play as far as their game environment. I believe Caleb Williams ends up having a really big week. Offense in Chicago has not been terrible. DeAndre Swift's kind of been a tough watch. But to play in Dallas, Dallas' entire secondary is terrible. We'll see about Deron Bland. The Trayvon Diggs, he's come back from injury. He's looked terrible. I mean, I would rather play DJ Moore. So that's very easy for me. But like I said, Jalen Waddle, perception is he's a really awesome wide receiver. I mean, stats say it has not been a fun ride. So trying to get out from under that if we can capitalize here.
That sounds fair to me.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So for me, after a very hot first week, the passing attack for Buffalo had a week off. The Bills ran 43 times for 224 yards and 3 TDs last week. But I'm looking at Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir. Who is going to run with the lead receiver role? I know all offseason, a lot of us were talking about Khalil Shakir taking it and running. That has not happened. Keon Coleman has been kind of leading the pack, but he finishes wide receiver 2 the first week and wide receiver 76 in the second. So I'm hoping that he shows what he did in week 1 tonight in a higher scoring game than last week. But we're going to have to figure out who we're starting there, or is it going to just be another Packers situation where you never can tell?
That's probably where we're going to be, I feel like.
It's a great week to find out, though.
It is.
It is a great week to find out. All right, well, let's finish off where we always do, where JMO and I have no real knowledge, but we like to learn. Who should we be keeping an eye on in the Devy world? Joe?
We're going to keep it short and sweet this week. We've gone a little long, but this isn't the greatest class for skill position guys. A lot of good depth, but there aren't many guys who can really blow up. But I think wide receiver 1, we're 3 weeks into the college season. We're about as wrapped up as we can get. Jordan Tyson for Arizona State is the dude, real dude. He's awesome. He hasn't played anyone really yet. They've played Northern Arizona, Mississippi State, who is up and down, and Texas State. But this week, I don't know if you guys saw the tightrope touchdown he had where hurdled a guy, tightroped and dove into the end zone. Sorry, I have a cat trying to go on. Okay, come here. But he has made Sam Leavitt Arizona State's quarterback, look really good at times where he has struggled without Cam Scatabo there. Tyson missed that Scatabo performance in the playoffs against Texas. And I think the Big 12 championship game the week before. But he's 6'2", 200. He plays like a smaller receiver, complimentary. He had great after the ball skills, does awesome with the ball in his hands, I should say. Really strong route runner. His biggest issue is with the dropsies, which you don't love. However, one of those things you can kind of deal with at times and hope that he gets better at as he plays with better quarterbacks and just gets older and more experienced. He, I think, is locked in as a wide receiver 1 right now, barring someone really, really blowing up later on.
All right, Jordan Tyson.
That's Jordan with a Y as well.
It is Jordan with a Y. Why?
Yes.
Because we care. It is time for us to finish up and let the good people know where they can find us and any final thoughts you might have. Joe?
You can find me on the social medias at JoeLo63 and at Fantasy and Frames, where at halftime, my Fades and Plays IDP version is going to drop, apparently. And yeah, you can find me talking about IDP, fantasy, and the sadness that is the Baltimore Orioles. Brush and floss, everyone.
Brush and floss indeed. JMO.
Don't be on your phone at the dentist.
Yeah, please don't.
It's weird behavior. But on Twitter machine at Jameson Rules. I've also got my own YouTube channel at Jameson Hutchison. You can find there. Doing DFS every Sunday morning, 10 Eastern with Joel Worth. It's been a lot of fun. Giving out some more winners there than I have here, unfortunately, but it's just a part of it. But besides that, YouTube every Sunday, here every Thursday. If you need anything, you want me to pray over your fantasy football team, I'd be happy to do it, whatever it takes. And I will piggyback on the baseball portion of it because the Red Sox are hanging on for dear life for a wild card spot. And they lost today, pissed me off. It is what it is. Going to get back to it tomorrow, see what it brings, but we'll see. It's better than the Orioles, I guess.
Well, make sure you are following Joe and JMO. JMO is doing a great job on his DFS podcast or live stream. Also follow JMO's OnlyFans, where we won't talk about that, but
It's free right
very
now.
good.
Free for the rest of the week.
It should be free. I'm at JJ Wenner on the socials. Thank you, Joe Jameson, the crew at Fantasy and Frames. We are back next week to preview the Seahawks at Cardinals and answer your
that
way
could be
too
fun.
early start, sit questions. And as always, love yourself, know your worth. You are enough. Boat drinks, my friends. Boat drinks.